Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children, you are welcome for online class. Class 10, this is your 6th poem, No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. And you know that we have already learned the first part. In the first part, we have learned that no men are foreign, and he was giving in 2 stanzas the explanation, and you understood very clearly in that part. So here the poem tells us why we must have hate our brotherhoods or our think that other nation people are foreigners. No man or country is strange to us. They all of same our brotherhood, and we must have love and care for them, no hatred for them. Beneath the various colors of uniform, it is the same human body. The earth that every human walks on the same, the other around the world depend on the same air, water and sun. They eat out of peaceful hours and are starved during winter. So how we are just eating in a peaceful, and at the wartime we are starving, the same they also having. Their hands have the same lines of hard work. So we stopped here. We'll continue from there, the 3rd stanza and 4th stanza, and we'll be just saying that, children. Yeah. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake, are sleep and strength that can be won. By love, in every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember whenever we are told. So here till this it is very clear to you, children. So remember, they have eyes like ours that wake. So they also have like eyes, how we have. Their eyes see, sleep and wake like us. So eyes are kept for seeing and just sleeping and waking. So we are using the same way the eyes. We look everywhere and we enjoy the nature, we enjoy the scenery. In the same way, we'll read with that, we'll work with that, and we have all the help of eye. The same eye is for sleeping and waking and for seeing anything. The same purpose eye is meant for them. How we have 2 eyes, they too have 2 eyes. Like everyone else, the strength can be overcome by loving each other. So like everyone, so suppose in any place, in your family or anywhere, or in our nation, when we have love, maybe next neighboring house, a person will be staying and they belong to some other language, some other religion, some other caste, but we feel our own brotherhood. And when we celebrate Christmas or Diwali or Pongal or any festival which we celebrate, we'll be sharing with them. And when they celebrate, they will sharing to us. When this happening in one nation, why not with other nations? That was a question. So he was telling that eyes are there, emotional feeling is there, everything is same, he is telling. Like everyone else, the strength we have, what is the strength we have? Love. So the love we having, when we love others, they too will love. When we hate others, they too hate us. So we must not hate them, we must love them. The strength can be overcome by loving each other. The common life is understood to everyone. So everyone knows that if you are having your best friend, if you say say that I like you, my dear friend, so then the relationship will be very close. And if you think that they are different and they were not good for you, and hatred will automatically, it will be in your mind, in your heart and everywhere, and there will be a lot of problems. So that only he says the strength of love we can use and we can survey in this world. We must sometimes, if we try to hate others, it means we hate ourselves. So everyone must have a thought. What thought? If hating others is hating ourselves, I am hating my human being. So I am a human being, so I am hating myself. That thought must be there in everybody, so there won't be any problem at all. Okay, that all can recognize, understand. Let us remember whenever we are told to hate others, what we have to think. I can't hate my own humanity. I can't hate my own self. So I must love others instead of hate, so that there will be a love and peace in the nation. So that thought must be in everybody's mind, so that the whole world will be a friendly world. So that only the expectation of the poet, and we will be just leading a life according to that. Okay, children, I think you understand. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. So you will be one, or you will be strengthened, you will be united. Why India is, we have lot of diversity, but unity is there because we have love and affection. We'll never think that they belong to Bengali, they belong to Tamilian, they belong to Hindi, like that. Even we have different language, we have the oneness that as Indian, the same thing had been followed all over the nation, that we are all human beings and we have to be created to love each other, not to hate. So there won't be any problem at all. So it has been very clearly explained in this. That all can recognize and understand. Let us remember whenever we are told. So we are told by somebody to hate somebody. So whenever it is told, you must think that I can't hate my own self. So the same I can't do for the other nation people. So that must be in your mind. So the poet tells very clearly to you. It is very clear, children. Let us go to the next answer. Okay. It is, remember, we would take arms against each other. It is a human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no nation is foreign. So that must be in your thought very clearly. So it is very clear to you, children. So here this stanza tells very clearly, when we try to use weapon against others, so we must remember, if we try to hate others, it means we hate ourselves. And there, war is there. If somebody tells us to hate, we must think that we are hating ourselves. That we must not do. Fire and dust destroy the purity of air, that we belong to all. So the air has belonged to everybody, and some two nations fighting, it pollutes the whole air. And we all been, sometimes what will happen when war is there, some innocent people will be dying. What they have done. So two leaders will be having some hatred, because of that the military power and the innocent people are being affected. Why that must take place? So when they told to hate us, this must be very clear. They also are human being like us, and we have to be there and love them, and we have to be along with them as one. There, and dust destroy the purity of air that belongs to all. So we must remember that no one is our enemy or foreign. So we must think that no one is, we have to remember very clearly, no one is our enemy and no one is our foreign. And no country is strange and land on the earth. So no nation is strange to us on the land on the earth. So that must be very clear to you. I hope you enjoyed the poem and loved the poem, children. We will go and see the figure of speech and other things, and then we'll okay. So the glossary: condemn means express complete disapproval. Labor means hard work. Betray means disloyal. Defile means damage the purity of an appearance. Outrage means extremely strong reaction of anger and shock. Okay, so the poetic devices transferred epithet. In the previous stanza, in the second stanza, we saw two things about winter and other thing. We'll see here. A transferred epithet is a figure of speech wherein Adjective or an epithet describes a noun is a transfer epithet from the noun. It is meant to describe to another noun in the sentence. In the loans, they too aware of sun and air and water are fed by the peaceful harvest. So, peaceful harvest and was long winter starved. Winter starved. So, these two are epithet. So, has been. However, it does not describe the winter as being starved, but describes the pronoun day. So, here the winter is just saying that in of season, it also mentions the people of the nation. So, it is called as people starved in the winter season. So, that it means, so it is an epithet, transferred epithet. It is very clear, children. And one more poetic device is enjambment. Enjambment. Enjambment is a poetic device. It is used in this poem because the lines are running without any punctuation mark. So, such poems are called enjambment. So, it is also a poetic device. It is called as enjambment. So, it's clear to you, children? Okay. So, poetic device. Historically, many wars of war. Okay, winter starved is a transferred epithet. So, historically, many wars were fought during the winter while the harvest season was essentially peaceful. They refers to the soldiers in uniform who had to starve during winter while fighting for their land. Not only the military force, even the people in the country will not have a proper food supply, and because it is a winter, like a winter season, they will be just not getting proper food in the winter. Like that, they also will be affected at the war time. So that winter starved is mentioned as transfer epithet. So, metaphor, you know that it is implied simile when something is told without as and like with it is compared, then it is called metaphor. And here hells of fire is metaphor. You know repetition. So, repetition is the word remember 5 times repeated in the poem. So, it is called as repetition. Remember, remember, remember. 5 times it is repeated. So, it is called as repetition. Similarly, the last line of the last stanza, remember no men are foreign and no country strange, through reverse is the same as the first line of the first stanza, remember. No men are strange, no. So, it is repeated. So, it is called as repetition. So, one more new poetic device you learnt in this, that is enjambment. Enjambment means without punctuation mark, you will be having a poem, continuously it will be running, then it is called as enjambment. And this poem is not having a regular rhythmic poem, we call it a rhyming scheme. We are not having regular rhyming scheme, it is having irregular, and somewhere it is not at all having rhyming scheme. So, here we understood. So, in total, the moral of the poem is, or the theme of the poem is, all the world, all over the world who are people living, they must think that their brother and sister were just living in the other nation, they must not hate and they must love, and that love will lead peace in this nation and it will be so happy for their life. Okay, children? Okay, we'll understood the poem. This is a memory poem, and you just put a tune and sing, and we'll be just seeing you in the next class. And to receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe buttons and will receive the latest updates. Thank you, children. We'll meet you in the next class.